On Evelyn's bachelorette night, she stumbled upon her fiancé Michael and Sandra, her stepsister, rolling around in bed, and overheard their conversation. "I already feel like the most beautiful bride, Sandy. This feels like a fairy tale, and I'm about to start living happily ever after," Sandra said, mimicking something Evelyn had said earlier, and Michael chuckled. "She is so childish and silly. The only reason I put up with her is because of her inheritance," Michael said, and Evelyn's perfect world came crashing down in an instant. In a fit of emotional distress, she narrowly avoided a car accident and ended up having one night stand with the real leading man. 6 years later, she returns as a journalist, bringing her child along, and interviews him. He's been thinking about her nonstop, but she doesn't remember him at all. Wanting to surprise him, she entered his passcode and walked in. Her smile faltered at the sight of white stilettos by the door. She recognized them as Sandra's. She found feminine clothes on the couch, Sandra's dress and blazer. Her heart raced as she headed toward the bedroom. Through the half-open door, she heard Sandra say, "I already feel like the most beautiful bride. This feels like a fairy tale." Michael chuckled and said, "The only reason I'm able to stand her is her inheritance." Evelyn's world shattered. She fled, tears blurring her vision. Driving aimlessly, she collided with another car. A man in a suit emerged from the other car, fury on his face. As he approached, his anger softened to concern. "What the hell were you doing?" he asked. Evelyn sobbed, unable to respond. "Where are you heading?" he asked gently. "I will take you there." She shook her head, the thought of facing anyone unbearable. "Either you let me take you somewhere safe, or I'm calling the cops," he said. She nodded, and he took her to his house suite. "What happened?" he asked softly. Evelyn couldn't speak. Tears streamed down her face. He left to freshen up, and when he returned, she was in his bedroom. "What are you doing here?" he asked, wearing only a towel. "Are you married?" she asked. "Engaged." "Do you have a girlfriend?" "No," he said, puzzled. "Would you want to be with me?" she asked bluntly. Derek stared at Evelyn, taken aback. "Why would we want to do that?" he asked, wondering if her tears were a ploy. Evelyn's cheeks burned. "Do you find me attractive?" she stammered, her voice a whisper. Derek's eyes narrowed in confusion. Silence stretched between them. Evelyn wanted to disappear. "Yes," he finally said, "but I don't understand. Why?" Evelyn took a shaky breath. "I've made a terrible mistake," she said, tears welling, "and I need to make one more before I can move on." "That doesn't make sense," Derek replied. "By doing this, I might forgive myself," Evelyn said. "I just want to be close to someone. Nothing more." Derek studied her, his expression unreadable. Then he smiled, a hint of sympathy in his eyes. "No, I can't," he said. "You're upset. Tell me about the mistake." To his shock, Evelyn began to undress in front of him. "Please, just be with me," she pleaded, pressing her body against his. Derek looked away. "You're hurting. This isn't the solution. I need a temporary reprieve," she said, kissing him. He hesitated, then kissed her back with passion. He carried her to the bed. "Are you sure?" he asked gently. Evelyn nodded. "Yes," she said, her voice strong. He held her close, his hands moving gently. She responded with a passion she hadn't felt in years. He touched her, eliciting a soft moan. As he kissed her neck, his hand moved down her side. She gasped as his fingers connected with her. She kissed him fervently, trying to hold back her emotions.